In a significant ruling today, the Washington Supreme Court showed that it stands with 3 victims of child sex trafficking who were sold for sex on the Backpage website. The court said the children have been the repeated victims of horrific acts committed in the shadows of the law. We, at the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, have long been appalled with the advertising of children for sex on Backpage. We will continue to work with the courts, law enforcement, and victims to remove these shameful ads. This ruling allows the victim's case against Backpage to proceed. It is the most significant step by the courts to end this terrible practice. One of the families involved in this lawsuit shared their story with us.
When I grow up, I'd like to be a doctor.
She was just a very outgoing, amazing child. She was, it's not that we didn't have our little bumps in the road, but, she was a teenager, typical teenage child.
Tom says he and his wife Nicole were devastated when their teenage daughter suddenly ran away from home. They want to share their story, but they prefer to keep their full names confidential. When their daughter left in 2010, she wrote a note saying she loved them and that they shouldn't worry. 2 long months passed before she finally called home.
And I remember just begging her to come home. Please come home. We can fix this. We'll do anything. What do you need? Are you eating? Are you okay? Where are you at? And all she said is, I can't come home.
Her parents learned that every day their daughter was being raped, beaten, and struggling to survive. Like thousands of victims across America, she was at the mercy of a child sex trafficker.
We're one of the lucky families, though. We got our daughter back.
Police eventually found Nicole's daughter after 3.5 months. The pimp was convicted on multiple counts, including commercial sex abuse of a minor. He's now serving a 26-year sentence.
I feel so lucky to have my daughter today, and so grateful for who she is and how well she's doing.
Today, nearly 5 years later, the family is still putting back the pieces. As part of their healing process, they're courageously taking on one of the largest classified ad listing services on the internet, Backpage.com.
For money, you can buy a girl online. And that's where my daughter was sold. It's on Backpage.com. She was sold as a weekend special on Backpage.com.
Tom's family is one of 3 in the state of Washington now suing Backpage.com for damages. One of their attorneys is Eric Bauer.
And it's the largest criminal conspiracy I've ever seen. I think it's easily proved. I think a good hard look at the Backpage.com website is clear indication that they are assisting pimps in selling young people and children all across the United States.
On October 21st, the Washington State Supreme Court will hear arguments in the case.
Backpage is essentially saying that the pimps are completely responsible for all this bad content on their website, and they have nothing to do with it. Backpage does in fact encourage advertisements of this nature on their website.
At the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, analysts review Backpage.com daily. It's where they find many missing kids being sold for sex. Last year alone, the National Center's cyber tip line received more than 10,000 reports of suspected child sex trafficking. With this unique perspective, the National Center has urged the High Court in Washington to let these child victims have their day in court.
In our society, when you hurt somebody, you are liable for the harm they have suffered. Backpage has hurt these kids. Backpage has sent up to 20 adults per night to a 7th grade kid for the purpose of being raped.
You shouldn't be able to call up or look on the internet and find a girl and order a girl like you can order a pizza. I think it's absolutely reprehensible.
I wasn't screaming from the mountaintops 4.5 years ago, but I do now. And I do it with passion, and I do it with love. And I do it for my daughter because she's my hero.